links in the description. Going to read through, I think, the majority of the article. You can obviously read through that yourself should you prefer. If you do like this video, then do consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and perhaps most importantly, sharing the video. Have a look at some of the other videos that I have. I just read through news articles in regards to true crime, and I try to be pretty up to date, so same day, next day articles. This one's about a mother who essentially stole her estranged daughter's identity. So let's read through it. A mother, 48 years of age, spent 2 years living as her estranged daughter after stealing her identity to secure loans, get a driver's license, enrolled in university, and even dated boyfriends who believed she was 22. Let's have a look at the lady. Her name is Laura Oglesby, and this is Laura. I mean, she's 48 years of age, and I mean, maybe she looks young for 48. I guess she does look young for 48. Does she look 22? Come on, you're having a laugh, mate. A mother has pleaded guilty to spending 2 years living as her estranged daughter after stealing her identity to enroll in university, secure student loans, and get a driver's license. Laura Oglesby, 48, adopted the identity of her estranged daughter Lauren Ashley Hayes in 2016, who was 22 years of age at the time, after applying for a social security card in her name. To locals in Mountain View, Missouri, Oglesby was a 22-year-old student called Lauren Hayes, who dated men who believed she was that young and had a job at the city library. But in reality, she was a mother in her 40s who had assumed her estranged daughter's identity and embezzled over $25,000, and now faces up to 5 years in prison without parole for social security fraud. Again, I mean, I'm just repeating myself, but come on, 22, what were you thinking? No one believed you were 22. Okay, the article continues. Everyone believed it. Bullshit. She even had boyfriends that believed that she was that age, 22 years old. I mean, they might have said they believed it, but, you know, for real. In 2016, on the day of obtaining a fraudulent social security card in her daughter's name, Oglesby used the card to obtain a Missouri driver's license. The United States Attorney's Office for the Western District of Missouri said in a statement. A year later, Oglesby used the security card again to enroll at Southwest Baptist University in Missouri, where she applied for and received financial aid. She received $9,400 in federal student loans, $5,920 in Pell Grants, and then a couple of $1,000 here and there. After pleading guilty to the charge of social security fraud, Oglesby must pay $17,500 to the university, as well as restitution to her daughter Lauren for identity theft. Oglesby will face a sentence of up to 5 years in federal prison without parole. Okay, so that's pretty much the story there. It's kind of odd. Is it the most important story? No, not really. Is it the most heinous crime? No, not by a long way. We've seen far, far more evil occur, regrettably. I mean, this is madness, and it's disrespectful to her estranged daughter, and I'm underplaying things there. It's harmful to her estranged daughter. You know, it is fraud, and it is illegal. Punishment is appropriate, absolutely. Restitution is appropriate, absolutely. But I've got to say, my feelings, facing up to 5 years in federal prison without parole, well, I'm a little bit perturbed by that personally. In and of itself, I could see that that's probably fairly reasonable. I mean, it was a serious crime. There was a victim. You know, there were financial costs involved. But at the same time, the financial costs weren't huge. I mean, 17,000 US. I mean, that's not massive numbers, is it? It's not hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. How many? I'm not trying to downplay it, but how many people commit that level of fraud? Quite a lot, I would think. To me personally, 5 years in federal prison without parole is too harsh. Really, I think that's too harsh. I don't think that's necessary. But especially when we see other cases, I'm trying to think of some off the top of my head. That nurse, the nurse that had raped and impregnated the lady that was in a vegetative state. That nurse, I can't remember his name, Nathan something. I've made a video on him. He received, if I recall correctly, a 10-year sentence for raping perhaps multiple times a lady in a vegetative state. 10 years sentence, and but that was including the 3 years that he was during the investigation. So he's going to end up with 7 years in jail with the opportunity of parole. So he may only spend 3.5 years in jail, whereas this lady, for causing some fraud, doing some fraud, she might be in jail for longer. I mean, to me, that's not quite right. I would definitely punish her, fine her, absolutely, a jail sentence, but I don't see the point in more than a year. I don't know. Anyway, there's that story. Perhaps it's not the most important, but you've seen it anyway.